10 shocking confessions King Charles exposed to the public. Starting off with number 10, the Adultery Confession. Leading experts have ruled out the sensational claim that King Charles's confession of adultery before his coronation could cause a constitutional crisis. Anthony Holden, who composed a memoir of the ruler, sent a letter to the Watchman paper contending that any crowning celebration was probably going to be invalid. Holden penned, "The Church of England has never crowned a man who has been divorced as king, much less one who has publicly admitted to adultery," with the relevant women anticipating being crowned queen consort. The late Robert Runcie, previous Archbishop of Canterbury, said that would require an update of the crowning ceremony oath, which would require another statute of parliament. Number 9, political backlash. Charles's troubled past has been exposed numerous times now that he is king. He was accused of trying to get the British government to participate in some shady activities. Senior member of parliament dubbed Charles Britain's best informed lobbyist after it was revealed in 2015 that he had received secret documents about the British government's inner workings that not even elected ministers had seen. The royal engaged in personal lobbying efforts to senior politicians about a variety of topics, including illegal fishing of the Patagonian toothfish and orders of military helicopters during the Iraq War, according to 27 memos that were provided to The Guardian and dubbed the Black Spider memos due to Charles's scrawl. Clarence House stated at the time that it is typical for heirs to the throne to be briefed on political topics. However, critics argued that members of the royal family should avoid politics. King Charles's political activism raises the question of whether he will be a politically outspoken monarch. According to University of Chicago historian James Vaughan, who spoke to Politico, the question mark would be, would he try to use his role in the unwritten constitution to influence the British government's policies, and thinking more than his mother probably ever wanted to. Charles will be scrutinized more closely now that he is king. However, in a 2013 Time profile of the royal, he made a comment that could be aimed at anyone who doubts that he is worthy of his position or up to it. He told the magazine that you end up discovering there was value in them if you throw away too many things. Number 8, jealous of Diana. During his marriage to Princess Diana, he had his first significant encounter with disapproving public opinion. Archival footage of the couple touring Australia in the new HBO documentary The Princess suggests that he was jealous of how much more popular she was. Diana confirmed that Charles envied the public's devotion to his wife in her explosive '95 interview with BBC's Martin Bashir. In her words, "The pressure on us both as a couple with the media was phenomenal and misunderstood by a great many people. We'd be going around Australia, for instance, and all you could hear was, 'Oh, she's on the other side,' referring to the waiting crowds expressing their disappointment that Charles was closer to them rather than Diana. Now, if you're a man like my husband, a proud man, you mind about that if you hear it every day for 4 weeks, and you feel low about it, instead of feeling happy and sharing it," Diana continued. When Bashir asked, "So they were expressing a preference even then for you rather than your husband?" she responded, "Yes, which I felt very uncomfortable with, and I felt it was unfair because I wanted to share." When asked if she was flattered by the media attention, Diana said no, because with the media attention came a lot of jealousy from her husband. Considering at the time Charles was a future king, his fragile ego definitely seems like a toxic trait, and who's to say he isn't like that towards Camilla or anyone else close to him now. Number 7, revealing the big secret. Charles and Camilla probably would have married much earlier if Diana had survived and gotten married as expected. Instead, for a number of years, they kept their relationship under wraps and out of the public eye. In 2004, the Prince of Wales tied the knot with his longtime partner, but she chose not to style her name as Princess of Wales. Number 6, the palace staff. Even Prince Charles's cleaning staff once kept his affair with Camilla a secret from Princess Diana. Or at the very least, try to. The Prince of Wales' effort with the Duchess of Cornwall, which occurred while Charles was married to Princess Diana, is well known to royal family followers. It's safe to assume that some members of the royal family are dissatisfied with the fact that their affair is getting screen time on Netflix's The Crown, making it by far one of the biggest royal relationship scandals. In a well-known interview with News of the World in 1995, the prince's valet Kevin Stronach shared shocking details about Charles's affair. He was even fired because of his breach of confidentiality. Stronach claimed at the time that he scrubbed grass stains from Charles's pajamas after the prince would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night to meet with Camilla. According to the newspaper, Prince Charles made love to Camilla in the bushes of his Highgrove mansion while Princess Diana slept inside. He was reckless and took a significant risk, but he doesn't see the lady in any way. A source claimed that there was mud and muck everywhere following Charles's midnight romps. It was obvious that he had been working outside. Charles even made sure his staff made his bed look like he slept there by ruffling it up. It was very elaborate, but no one was fooled by it. The valet claimed he had become ill as a result of the strain of keeping Charles's secrets. He stated to the newspaper at the time, "We've been told not to speak to anyone about anything throughout his time with Charles. I became extremely ill as a result of the strain of keeping his secrets." Even though now King Charles has admitted to the affair and married Camilla, it's clear that the firm still doesn't like to talk about this royal stuff. Number 5, the affair. Obviously, not a big secret, the Princess of Wales was very much aware of the extramarital affair Charles and Camilla were having, but the couple still tried their hardest to conceal their relationship from Diana and the rest of the world. Prince Charles's mistress Camilla was regarded as a villain before Princess Diana and Charles filed for divorce. Additionally, she was resented up until the Princess of Wales' untimely passing in 1997. The Duchess of Cornwall was not specifically held accountable for Princess Diana's passing away, but they did, however, find a newfound hatred for her greatest foe. Because of the hatred, Camilla had to hide for months as the situation escalated. All this for Charles? Shocking. If Camilla had never gotten herself in this mess with Charles, being one of the most hated royals would have never been something she'd had to worry about. Number 4, inheritance secrets. Now that King Charles is living a king-size life, how can we pretend there aren't any real secrets he's keeping from us? After inheriting the properties from his mother, Queen Elizabeth, Charles has been getting a lot more attention, and obviously we're going to dig into the English wealth and their secrets. For a regular British citizen, any inheritance over $380,000 is taxed 40%, but King Charles doesn't have to pay anything on properties, jewels, and investments that are probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Whatever happened to eating the rich? The royal treatment is getting out of hand. Having all this money and privilege on top of not having to pay taxes, and considering their extremely problematic past, it's surprising how they keep getting away with this. The same document explains that the British Crown is also not legally liable for income tax or capital gains tax. Personally, I think the British people should overthrow the throne at this point because taxes should not be reserved for regular citizens. Or what if they flipped and only taxed the rich? Eat the rich, guys. That's the society we'd love to live in. Number 3, Highgrove House Gardens. King Charles is a very careful man and is very, very private when it comes to what he wants to show the regular folk about his lifestyle. There's one place that His Majesty can likely be found though, on his hands and knees in his personal Highgrove House Gardens. The garden at Highgrove really does spring from my heart, and strange as it may seem to some, creating it has been rather like a form of worship, the royal said in 1993. Since purchasing the property surrounding his historic 18th century country house in 1980, Charles has transformed the wilted 900 acres of lawn into a paradise with around 40,000 visitors a year. Number 2, the secret treehouse. Nothing's more magical to a kid than a secret treehouse. Originally built in 1988 for William and Harry, Charles recently renovated the area for the newest generation of little royal youngsters. The rustic playhouse is in a woodland area known as Stumpery, surrounded by ferns and toadstools and even a topiary snail and stone steps leading up to the playhouse entrance. Finally, number 1, making/costing the country money. Last on the list, there's one question that many have wondered. Do the royals cost the government money or do they make it money? For one, the royals draw tourist dollars as well as publicity for Britain. In 2017, a valuation company called Brand Finance estimated that the monarchy boosted the tourism sector by the equivalent of more than $640 million. And while the sovereign grant has been growing, which means more money for the royals, the Crown Estate provides a huge sum of money to the government. Anti-monarchy groups don't really think the royal family brings in money, a figment of the spin doctor's imagination, they say. These groups might be onto something since they suspect that the monarchy actually costs the country about $400 million a year. And let's not even start to talk about the coronation costs. McClure, the expert on the royals, has estimated the government's cost to protect the family at well over $100 million annually. Reports in the British press have suggested that King Charles, a conservationist by nature, hopes to slim down the monarchy with fewer senior royals involved in public engagements. Harry and Meghan helped out with that, and apparently Prince Andrew. He's also talked about opening up more royal properties to the public, a move that could theoretically bring in more revenue. I can see how this may be a smart business idea, but I still do think the anti-monarchy groups might be onto something. But that is all for today. Thank you for watching.